everyone, I'm Candace, and you can visit me at eclecticcoach.com if you are interested in personal coaching. I do two specific types of coaching right now. Course completion coaching, so if you've signed up for any type of course online, it can be anything at all, really. I'm not tutoring you. What I'm helping you do is break down the course into useful packets of information that you then apply to something important and meaningful in your life. And I provide social accountability, structure, support, different exercises and tools to help you stay focused and stay in it and stay really passionate and energized about why you signed up for it in the first place. So not only will you complete the course, but you'll get the absolute most out of it. And the next type is Intuitive Transformational Coaching. So I use tarot cards and all different kinds of things, oracle cards, different intuitive exercises. I don't necessarily give you a reading, but I help you learn to utilize your own intuitive mechanisms and to gain strength and confidence. So check out my services. I would love to support you in not only receiving guidance from your spirit team and your higher self, but actually really applying it and focusing on following through on that guidance, because we're always being guided to the next best thing. And so this can be a really exciting and fun and intentional journey. You can really use your intuition to help you manifest and to guide you, and it makes it this really fun process. So I'm really excited about it, and I love it. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what to do if you are having one of those moments where you're like, oh no, what do I do? You know, like something's happened and you need to turn in the stream. You're on a frequency and you're just like, what in the just happened, you know? Or you're like a crisis point. How to turn it around, how to quickly elevate your frequency and get you out of a mess. So one of the things is to use affirmations. Now, I know affirmations can kind of have the reverse effect, but not if you use them in this super focused, very deliberate, intentional way to shut out any negativity. So let's just say you're overdrawn, or you just got this huge bill and you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. That is the time to immediately start this inner mantra over and over. My income continues to increase. My income is constantly increasing. My income is constantly increasing. And so what you're doing, and I learned this from Louise Hay, is that you're repeating it over and over and over again. And you got to move your body. Like, get up, stand up, take some deep breaths. You're going to be fine. Remember something. Solutions as time moves forward. Like, you're going to come into some solutions as you raise your frequency. Different ideas are going to come. Different people are going to call. Like, the weirdest stuff's going to happen. So just take a deep breath. Sit up straight. Remember, and this is important too, remember, all of life supports you. Everything's always working out. I love like listening to Abraham sometimes, and they say everything's always working out. Everything's always working out. But Louise Hay had this really specific way she talked about it. She said, I say the affirmation hundreds of times a day, over and over and over and over again. And it's like I allow it to distract me from any sort of fears or worries or anxieties about the problem, and then I give it the universe space to solve it and to let it go. So it's really, you're saying the affirmation to quiet the egoic mind that's throwing all these fears and all this negativity and catastrophizing at you. So over and over and over again. some very specific things about this affirmation is make it clear, simple, general, and easy to remember. Clear, simple, general, easy to remember. Almost like it's a commitment to summon that reality. That is the only reality, possibility, thing that you're going to imagine or allow into your consciousness, into your mind, over and over again. It's the affirmation. It's the I am statement. It's over and over again. I am that I am. When Moses asked on the mountain, what shall I call you? God replied, I am that I am. It's this great presence, and that's within you. So another thing is reminding yourself who you are. Sometimes it's we get so caught up in all this, and it's all Maya. It's all an illusion. This is a simulation. Our bodies are simulation suits. Sometimes it's really helpful to sit there and look around and remind yourself of certain things. Like sound is a frequency. It's a measurable frequency. There's a mathematical equation to how fast sound travels, and it basically, sound comes into our ears, vibrates on these little hairs that we have in our inner ear, and goes into our brain, and then we perceive sound. So, and the same with color. The reason that we see color is that different frequencies of light are refracted off of things, and our brain perceives that color. So everything is energy. Everything is energy in motion. We're talking, just looking around at basic things, the technology that we use every day, the radio that we turn on, radio waves, everything is energy. And just reminding yourself of that very practical, physical reality and how it maps onto so many different things in relation to our everyday experience. And just reminding yourself that this isn't a bunch of woo-woo, it's measurable fact. So, okay, that's really helpful. It's just to remind yourself that. And then also to remind yourself who you are. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are guided. There's some force of love and intelligence that is moving through you at all times. I think back on Wayne Dyer. I loved Wayne Dyer, and my mom would play him in the car when I was a kid, and those ideas really affected me, and it's one of the greatest blessings of my life to be exposed to those ideas so young. Really helped me throughout various parts of my life, and just to remind yourself that he has this example of peristalsis, and how you have this thing in your throat that makes your food go down so that you don't throw it up. You don't sit there and think about that. You don't sit there and digest your own food. You don't pump your own heart. You don't turn photosynthesis into oxygen and then breathe it, and then you don't do any of that. All of this intelligence is set up and all around you, and you are a part of it. And so relax. And so the next thing, and this is really interesting too, is if you can start feeding your mind. Like, make a choice to shut out any negative movies, media, anything. Skip, delete. When you are in one of these moments where it's mission critical, it's do or die, like, you got to get real intentional about what you feed your brain. And sometimes I feel like a hypocrite whenever I talk about this. But at that point, you also got to get really intentional about what you feed your body, because your body needs to be able to hold this much energy in order to affect the field optimally. So the more energy you can summon and hold in your physical apparatus, the more you can affect your tangible reality around you. And also, I'm being reminded right now, water. Drink lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of water. That really helps you manifest and feel better. Water is the universal symbol for emotion, and when we drink water intentionally, we can really soothe ourselves and soothe our emotional body, because what you're going for, hold on. What you're going for when you're freaking out and you need to address the situation, and how you know that you are really shifting gears energetically, is that you can feel a shift in a visceral shift in your body. So sometimes it's helpful to do a body scan. You can even do it now. And just become aware of where this anxiety or this situation that you are interpreting is affecting you in your physical body. And as you do this, and as you remind yourself that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, and you do these different exercises, what you're going for is a release of tension, a soothing, a calming, a visceral lift, basically. And so that can really help you. And basically anything that specifically and immediately addresses your physiology is going to help you deal quickly. So water, using some essential oils, doing some power poses, stand up straight. I think it's Cynthia Kersey. Yeah, I think so. Had that TED Talk talking about how when you change your body language, you don't just change how you feel, you change how you are perceived by others who didn't even see you do that. And so that's how much it changes what's going on around you. Okay, and then another quick thing is throw yourself a dance party, especially if you're feeling sluggish, especially if you're feeling like, sometimes you just get in that mood where your body just feels heavy and you just, and then if you just pay attention to what you're doing with your body, or how you're just slouching or lounging around, and you recognize that pattern, like that's the thing. Like sometimes we can just get ourselves into this like sedentary, like stuck state, and then we feel stuck, and then things are happening, and then we feel powerless. But if we can play some upbeat music, be really intentional about what you feed your mind, music, media, all that stuff, and put on something positive, upbeat, uplifting, and move your body. Walk around, like, and also, when we experience anxiety, our eyes like dart around, right? Like we just feel nervous and we're like scanning the environment. Get a hold of it and focus your eyes and breathe slowly. And then what you want to do is open your eyes, become really, really, really present, and just wait. Let the field of intelligence move through you. It's the ego that's like, okay, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta have this plan, you gotta do this thing. If there's a frantic pace to the voice and the energy that's inside you, that is not the voice of your higher self. That is not the energy of the intelligence that you want to be guiding you, the optimal intelligence. So what you want to do is just become really present and really still, and then let it move through you. And then, and throw a dance party. You can still have a dance party and listen to music and be really present. Through all of these little exercises and tips, you want to be as present as possible and really intentional, and use your 5 visceral senses and really focus in on them as you do it. That can help you. And then certain people in your life just bring certain energies. And if you're in an oh shit, what am I going to do? That is just not the time to hang out with certain people. It's definitely not the time to re-engage in like your old stories with them, your old dialogue with them. Sometimes you got to set people and their opinions like aside for a minute. And give yourself permission to do that and to have boundaries. Raise your field, and it's interesting the different people that will start to show up. But there are certain people who are just gonna like bring you down, and you're trying to raise your frequency so that you have more clarity and are guided to the highest and best possible solutions. Also, and maybe I should have said this first, as soon as it happens, Mary Mann Morrissey, I really like her stuff. I did a retreat with her. Really, really awesome spiritual teacher. Tells the story about how she got some bad news about her husband losing his job. And she has a 3-day rule. And think about Christ on the cross, and the cross being this symbol of suffering. Give it 3 days before it's this massive tragedy, and allow the transition to occur. I think that if you look at all of life like a piece of art, there's these reoccurring motifs and symbols that we see throughout the human experience. And I think that 3 days is a really powerful symbolism to let something play out before you label it as this terrible thing. So give yourself permission, because sometimes we're like, no, this is really bad. Wait 3 days and see. And then sometimes you just you catch yourself getting ready to just cry, like freak out, just cry and be upset. And that's okay too. I'm not talking about just shoving all your emotions down. But sometimes if it's something that you've practiced and it's not working for you and it's an emotion and you just can't, you've got to survive right then, right there. Your situations may look dire, but you know that you're a powerful creator. You know that you can manifest solutions and a way out of the situation. So sometimes you can't be self-indulgent with your emotions and your pity party. You just gotta pull up the rear view mirror. I've had to do this in my car a lot, and look at yourself and just be like, no, we're not going there. You're gonna be fine. Sometimes it's helpful to talk to yourself in the third person. You're gonna be okay. Look yourself in the eye. Say, I love you. Say, I promise I'm gonna take care of you. You're gonna be okay. I promise I will be responsible. Sometimes we really have to reparent ourselves, and using the mirror and communicating with ourselves and looking into our own eyes, our own windows to our soul, and talking to ourselves is a good way to shake ourselves out of it, give ourselves a pep talk. Because when we can give ourselves a pep talk and then we feel better, then other people who will show up and give us a pep talk too show up. But it seems like it only happens after you can do it for yourself. So, or kind of invite something in. And so that's a really, I think, helpful way to turn in the stream of consciousness. So if, like Abraham Hicks says, if you've got a momentum going in a negative direction, just want to slow it down, get really general. Start talking about a general like list. I like ice cream. I like swimming in the ocean. I like beautiful sunny summer days at time of day when it's just the perfect temperature. And just go through and tell yourself things that you like over and over. Just slowly but surely be really general. Talk about things that don't have a lot of weight or resistance around them, and slowly feel yourself rise in the stream. So I hope that's helpful on what you can do if you feel like really panicked or fearful about something, some different things to kind of shake up your mind and start emitting a higher frequency. I swear this stuff works, and I'd love to hear your experiences. I think I might have comments in this video. All right, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you found any of this helpful. And what was I going to say? Oh, visit me at eclecticcoach.com. And let's do some course completion coaching or some intuitive transformation coaching. I would love to support you in this new phase of your life and your next adventure. So I will see you there. And you can visit my Instagram if you want to see some of my art, and visit my website. Talk to you soon.